And welcome in to the Backstage Pass. It is Hump Day, finally. I kept thinking it was like a couple of days ahead of myself when it was like back on Sunday. But it is Wednesday here, the final week of April. Some great shows planned as we kind of move forward. And yeah, my phone's been blowing up all day. It's a good problem to have here on the Backstage Pass. Some good treats coming up over the next few weeks here, presented by our good friends at Toir Guitars, also Bangtail Whiskey, and of course, JK Subaru, our newest sponsor of Southeast Texas, the official vehicle of the Backstage Pass. So Brandon Morrell, Kirsty Krause here for this Hump Day. Next week, and Neil McCoy stopping by on Tuesday for Star Wars Day. That's going to be exciting. And of course, if you missed last night, the episode, I've been getting some good comments in on the baseball podcast, The Pitch with Zach Stone, and of course, Mike Babbo out of San Antonio. Bitter Mike, he texted me today and said a lot of cool people were listening in to the baseball show last night, The Pitch, which is every Tuesday from 6 to 7. Now that's all out of the way. Pleased to welcome in a lady who picked up the phone and contacted me, and I was like, yeah, she's a fit for this podcast. Judy Paster joins us here on the show. Judy, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing fantastic, and appreciate you reaching out to me and to get on the platform here with us. Definitely falling in love every day with the music, and I guess let's kind of start at the top here because you've been doing this thing called music for a while now, and following your passion, your dreams, and the Lord gave you a gift that I don't have. I'm not afraid to admit that. I just wanted to get at the top of the show. Tell me about this journey. Tell me about how this has been as a Nashville recording artist, and a little bit about you as fans may not know.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. Great to see both of you. And yeah, I mean, it's quite a journey because for any musician that decides that they want to go for it and make a career of it, it's going to be a journey. And sometimes you don't realize when you put all your eggs in that basket, you think, all your dreams are in front of you. And then like things happen and it doesn't exactly pan out in the timing usually that you want it to. So then you find out how hard it is and you really have to work very hard. But it's been awesome. Moving to Nashville was probably the best thing I've ever done. I met my husband 4 years ago here, and yeah, I mean, it's just been wonderful. He's like my number one critic, number one fan, confidant, all of that, and manager, So it's been wonderful. Great people in Nashville, creative. It's just my place. Like so many of us feel that way. So, yeah.
Awesome. I would say, Judy, you have become quite a household name in Nashville, not only in the songwriting community, but playing all of the cool places. Like you're a regular at the listening room. Talk to us about what's that like, and then we can get into a little bit of the writing stuff too.
Yeah, it's neat. It's like a real honor to be able to grace some of these stages. But again, it's like I feel if you work hard and you're supposed to be doing something and you stay in your lane, like I really try to like not go outside of, it's so easy to get like sidetracked here for me, but I try not to do that now. I'm more like focused and developing my sound and working with people that I really like gel with, because there's so much talent. You could like work with tons of people, but you have to find people that you just really connect well with, creatively. So I like try to stay like focused on all of that. And then within that, things have just kind of like opened up somewhat. So it's been like really great. And I'm honored to, I had a show this past week, Monday night at the listening room, and the talent on the stage, I was thinking like, it's natural, we're all there. But I was just like also experiencing
She kind of freezing up there too. Like I said, little connection issues there. So we'll hopefully reconnect with her too. We had this little issue yesterday, and like I said, nothing is perfect out there. So Judy, if you could hear us, please reconnect out there, because definitely the story she's telling is beautiful. The listening room, Kirsty, and like you said, having that name in Nashville. Looking forward to hearing that particular story out there. So
Oh,
we get her back. Here she is. We got her back.
We're getting you. Yeah, we're
I
getting
have to
you.
move them. Let me see if I can move back to my spot.
There you go. These things are never perfect, but it is technology.
Right.
That's the internet world for us.
It is.
But yeah, you're saying we left off. You were at the listening room. You said you're just looking around. So much other talent on stage. Your friends. That's where.
Yeah, so much of the talent, and just being appreciative of being able to live in this world and make music and go for it. You know.
Yeah, I definitely heard your name. You said I am, and I tell you are. I've definitely heard your name multiple times in town, and then got to bump into you in person, and I was like, there she is in person, in the flesh.
Yeah, and when you go back to the listening room, when you get to play there again, we had like a great crowd. It's like selling out again. People are coming out, so it's exciting to start living a little bit again.
Oh yeah, I think Nashville's coming back, and of course the listening room has become one of the most popular places to get your tickets. So anyone who's tuning in from out of town and coming in town, or they're from right in Nashville, make sure you get your tickets to the listening room. And on any given week, you'll probably see Judy Paster there. So make sure you check out their schedule and see when she's going to be there as well.
Well, it's time to turn the show over to you, Judy, and time for me to get off the screen. Hear those beautiful tones of the voice there, and let people know they can get the music across all the digital platforms out there right now. And a new single. It's a couple of days from coming out this Friday. She's going to talk to us about that too. So very excited to hear the news and where fans can go get that piece of audio on that single coming out on Friday. So Judy, it's all yours, and grace us with that great talent.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So this is my single. It's coming out this Friday. I wrote it with Bill DiLuigi. He's a great Nashville songwriter, one of my best friends, and it's produced by a guy named Sean Byrne. And both of those guys, it's kind of fun. They both won the grand prize of the American Songwriter Contest. Sean just won it in 2020. It's very hard. It's I don't know how many people enter it, but it's a lot. It's like a massive contest, and you don't even win it on your music. You win it on the lyrics. What's kind of interesting. And then Bill won that back in 2011 or 12. So it's neat. I have this little American songwriter team right now, and it just happened like that. But this actually was my husband's song idea. True Love Has a Cost, and it's about the sacrifices that we have to make when we truly love someone or something. And yeah, so this is it.
Here we go.
From me daisies in the rain, tattoo artists wrote down $100 and some change. True love has a cost. Pray to God it all goes well, 'cause love is war and fear is hell. You lose a little of yourself. True love has a cost. Ring the bells, raise the glass, 2 coins in a fountain. Find a way to make it last. There's one thing you can count on. True love has a cost. We're just strangers when you fall, to share the rooms behind the walls. Every year's a wrecking ball. True love has a cost. Ring the bells, raise the glass, 2 coins in a fountain. Find a way to make it last. One thing you can count on. True love has a cost. Oh, ring the bells, raise the glass, 2 coins in a fountain, find a way to make it last. There's one thing you can count on, one thing you can count on, one thing, true love has a cause. True love, true love, true love.
If you're looking for one of the most beautiful and playable custom acoustics on the planet, look no further than Ed Rice at Toir Guitars. Ed is a true artist, transforming exotic woods into magnificent, sweet-sounding instruments. Go to toirguitars.us, that's TOIRGUITARS.us, and contact Ed today.
And back here on the show, Judy Paster, beautiful performance out there. You can just find everything out there with that new single coming out Friday. Beautiful song, beautiful performance back here on the show, presented by Toir Guitars and Bangtail Whiskey. Also, JK Subaru of Southeast Texas. And, of course, this Friday night, get your fingers up, Triple Crown. Kevin Fowler out there at the big-time Riverfest. Can't wait to see Kevin and the guys out there, and we'll be there. Just look us up, the Backstage Pass. And, yeah, I think we'll Kirsty will probably have some Bangtail Whiskey. I don't know what they're going to sell out there. I don't know.
I think it's always there. I think it follows you around. It's it's our official sponsor here, so there's always a bottle coming to his house from the Easy Liquor app, and which is fantastic. It has that caramel finish at the end, so it's kind of just always around.
It is, which is a good thing. It's good to have Judy Paster around to hear those vocals too. Hey, tell us about a little bit more about it. Kind of dive into the songwriting is beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful. I can't wait for people to get this and hear the version you guys put together in the studio when it came out, and the instrumentation and everything. Kind of build on that a little bit, because fun to cut that one in the studio, I imagine, right?
Yeah, it's really fun. Sean, my producer, actually, he plays a very, I'm going to say, mean guitar. He is, I mean, so many people in Nashville play amazing guitar. We have the best guitar players in the world, but he's like top notch. So we put a lot of like slide guitar on there. It's really fun. It's more like Americana rock, the way it's produced, and kind of like a Tom Petty vibe a little bit. But my voice, and it sounds just like me, but just got like cool instrumentation, and it was fun to cut. And it's going to be everywhere. You can stream it on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube Music or wherever you like. Yeah. Or buy it.
There you go. Do that too. Like I said, I I try to get as much as I can out there to support all the artists that come on the program. Kirsty, tell you, I'll buy the music. I'll just definitely that's Apple for me. I do that. Hey, the album that got a couple of songs off of there too. Like Stardust, which was really beautiful. I thought there were some great messages on there, from leading it off with Circles Around My Heart, which was a beautiful track there. And then the title track itself, kind of break down the full-length album for you, the process of going through that, the work that goes into something like that to put together a full-length album with 8 great songs on there. Take me back a little bit. Let's talk about Like Stardust.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. That was really like this cool labor of love. And I have a friend, Pearl Clarkin. I don't know if you know her, but she introduced me to her producer at the time. She thought we might be a good fit. And his name is Bill McDermott. He works out of Omni Sound, which is Music Row. And I went and met with him and played him some of my songs. And we just, we decided we would do some demos. And this is like honestly how it happened. And I went in to cut a demo version, not an album version, of Circles Around My Heart. And I cut the vocal, he put some guitars on it, and a few other things, and sent it back to me. And I just like the tone that he like found in my voice was so like more pure than I had ever heard anybody. I mean, it sounded just like me, but it was like the best of me, you know. It was like somebody was able to capture what I wanted captured, or what was supposed to be captured. So I was like, my husband and I were both like kind of blown away. It really sounded good. And I was like, I don't know. I think I want to like make this a song. You know, I want to do, you know, do something with this. And I went back in the studio and we just started like exploring my other songs. And that's how we made this record. That's how we made like Stardust. Like I didn't like know I was going to like go in and cut all those songs and like how you would normally do and like block out the studio time and bring in the band and all of that. I didn't do any of that. I didn't know. It was very, I guess you would say, organic. And it ended up being beautiful. And like we ended up, my producer, Bill McDermott, at the time was really good friends with Russ Paul, who is one of like the best pedal steel players like in the world. And which, you know, they all live here, but, you know, I mean, there's probably like 5 or 7 of them, I think. I don't know. But Russ came in and ended up putting pedal steel on all of the songs. And I was just blown away. I was like, because I was a little starstruck because he had toured with Elton John. And I was like, I don't know, that's like too big. That's like too big. That's like, I was like, oh, but I'm used to it now because here in Nashville, it's like, I have friends now that are, you just don't, you kind of like lessen, you know, you don't get as, you're not like affected by it once you're here for a long time. You start working with a lot of these people. So, but at the time I was like, wow, that impressed me. But he was the nicest down to earth guy. And anyway, we just started bringing in musicians and people. My bass player came in. So it was very like different than what you would normally think of to make a record, but that's how it was born. So.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I want to talk about influences. This is the first time you've been on the Backstage Pass. So what were you listening to growing up? What are some musical influences of yours? How did that shape your sound?
That's a great question. So I grew up in the Northeast outside of Philadelphia, and my parents were like a little bit older when they had me. Like I have a brother that's 10 years older. So I kind of came along after the fact, I guess. And my brother had a lot of like rock music in the house. So that's kind of that's what I heard, you know, was rock. Although some of the music that Brandon has asked me, well, do you know this? Do you know that? I'm like, no, I don't know that. But I think that's more rap music you've asked me about, right? Brandon, isn't that right?
It probably is. And there was some rock stuff in there that I had done because we just had the lead singer for Saliva come on and people were like, who's Saliva? And I'm like, well, it tells me my age now because I'm going to their show next week here in Katy, Texas. And I look back and I'm like, I remember Click, Click, Boom. I remember the Ladies and Gentlemen because it was a sports rock anthem. And, you know, I have a sports show that we do one per week with the guys. And so many, I guess I try to be well-rounded with it. And I realize I have to tell myself that some people may not know who these artists are, but yeah. It's good to be well-rounded. So I didn't mean to trip you up when I asked you about that. We were talking back and forth, but it's always great, like yourself, to discover new artists of any genre out there.
Absolutely. But yes, so I had like a lot of rock and roll influence, and then I really liked like Fleetwood Mac, you know, like that kind of stuff. And people used to always say like, "Oh, you sound like Stevie Nicks," and I was like, maybe. I don't think I really do. But, you know, I mean, it was like they just heard like a tone or they heard something, you know. And when I discovered Sheryl Crow, I was like, okay, I can do this. She can do this. I can do this. You know, it was kind of, that was like her album, The Globe Sessions, came out in 2000. So it's like 20 years old, 21 years old. That was kind of the album that I listened to that kind of like where I felt like I could do this. Just because it was just a really cool album. Go listen to it. It's so good. If you haven't listened, it's called The Globe Sessions. And it's got like My Favorite Mistake on it. And There Goes the Neighborhood and a bunch of songs. And I was just very like influenced by her. And yeah, so that was kind of my influences, and a lot of like classic rock. I like classic rock. I like classic like folk rock and country rock. I like
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, but that's more like stuff I found later. I think just like growing up, it was just like classic rock, and then like I
Mm-hmm.
said, like Fleetwood Mac, and then I think I discovered Sheryl Crow on my own. But those were like my influences. So
Yeah, I can definitely hear that. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of it, like your music is very like the acoustic bass is very forward, so I can hear that little bit of like funk and rock in there. But when you said Sheryl Crow, I'm like, yes, because your writing style is so much like hers, and maybe even like a little bit of Jewel in there
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is what I. But of course, your sound is your own,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's so cool. But it's cool to hear the influences and put that into a big picture. Yeah.
And you
yeah,
can hear it
thanks.
on one like Stardust. You can hear, and I want to talk about this one. We come back after this song, but I think one that I liked on there, which really kind of you mentioned the Americana, the Fleetwood Mac kind of sound. Jewel, as Kirsty was saying, the Wings of Gold was a beautiful song I got to listen to and check out a lot of that album. When we first started setting everything up and talking briefly, I thought Wings of Gold was another just beautiful song. So I'm looking forward to breaking that one down too, where you kind of have the typical sound. But Kirsty's right; it is your own sound too, which I liked out there too, which was because I never like to compare artists, but then doing this show, it's kind of like, oh well, I get
Yeah,
some stuff and I listen to it and I'm like, that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's one of the easiest things to do, and I don't like doing that, but it's something that's just a human
right.
habit when you start listening to so much stuff, But
Oh,
let's
I
play.
understand.
Yeah, let's play another
Yeah.
one, and yeah, I definitely have to mention the current single out there right now, which is "Dreams Are Made to Believe," which came out February 5th. So if you haven't gotten that one, check that out across all the platforms. So Judy, it's all yours.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to do another one that isn't out yet, but it's coming out after. This will be like the follow-up to True Love Has a Cost. I just started cutting it. I actually wrote it maybe like 2.5 years ago, but I never added it into my set until recently. I wrote it with a gal here in town, Kelly Johnson, and it's called The Ride. And my husband like loves it and asked me to start playing it, and then other people liked it, and I was like, okay, and now I love it too. So this one's called The Ride.
Okay.
I've got an old guitar and an open road, beat up, hand-me-down heart, and a gypsy soul. I'm leaving today, living a dream with a traveling band, running on caffeine and fumes in a Chevy van. I'm on my way here to there. I've been pretty good, I don't mind if this is or as I go. Here comes the snow, kissing the sky. Winds has been a friend of mine. Still so much I don't know. These things I can't count on. I'll just take my time. It's all about the ride. It's all about the ride. Had my share of ups and downs. This old heart of mine's holding on. Got faith that's strong. Maybe one day I'll settle down, grow roots of my own. Until then, I'll carry on. Here to then, I've been pretty good, I don't mind if this is or as I go. Here comes the sun, all about the ride. It's all about the ride. I'll just sing my songs and keep moving on, moving on. Here comes the sun, kissing the sky. Wind has been a friend of mine. Still so much I don't know. These things I can't count on. I'll just take my time. It's all about the ride. 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 It's all about the ride.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
And of course, that is a lovely video by our sponsor, Bangtail Whiskey, where you can get a bottle of 750 milliliters right to your doorstep using the Easy Liquor app. Also, go to their website, bangtail.com. That was Judy Paster singing her next single that will be out right after True Love Has a Cost. That's coming out in, 2 days? They called The Ride. That was very, very beautiful. And just had me over here on the couch swaying back and forth, listening. Of course, we have Sean Spicer, a lot of people tuning in, giving you a round of applause. Judy, you rock, great influences, all the good things. Rodney's saying some funny things. He's like, dang, Brandon, you're hanging out with two talented hotties. So you guys are being funny today, for sure. Thank you for tuning in here and being with us with Judy Paster. We certainly appreciate you guys chiming in and appreciate the live music that you are giving us today on the Backstage Pass on the airwaves. Talk to us about that song, what it was like to write it, what it was about, the story, the whole thing.
The Ride?
Yes.
Gosh, I mean, like I said, it's been a little while since we wrote it, but I think, like, honestly, like, that one is so super simple. Like, lyrically, it's just like, you know, it's all about the ride. You know, it's like you have to, it's good to have dreams. It's great to have dreams, but you've got to, like, be happy in your day-to-day life. If all you are is striving for dreams, you're going to be not that happy at some point, you know, because dreams don't always happen. They'll happen, but they don't always happen the way that you think they should. And so part of dreaming and living is surrendering, you know, and, you know, being realistic at what's in front of you, you know, and what can you do and how well can you do it? And also, you know, be open to miracles and God's blessings, you know. I mean, it's all there for us, but, you know, things happen in life and you can't always get what you want, you know. So you just keep on keeping on. And I think that's what that song is about. It's just like, it's just a fun little anthem, you know, to like, just enjoy life, you know.
Amen.
Do your best.
It is definitely something that I feel like everybody feels and goes through, and the fact that you're able to depict all that in such a beautiful song, that is
Thanks.
to come. So make sure you are tuning into the socials on all of the platforms, following on Spotify and Facebook and all that good stuff, to look for these next two songs that she just performed coming out.
Putting that up there.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's called The Ride, though.
The Ride.
The Ride, yeah. Awesome.
We have
Thank you.
audience tune in there. Put some comments up there to read. Yeah, I want to go back to a single you guys put out last year. It also struck my attention, Judy, was Perfect Gift. It was another song that you guys had put out. Tell me about that one.
That one was so fun, so much fun to write. My friend Corey Lee Barker and my other friend Rhonda Funk the three of us got together to write a Christmas song or holiday song. And Rhonda actually had the idea, and she was supposed to like write it with somebody else, and they were going to try to get it in for film and TV. And like, she never got in to write it with that person. And she had held it for a long time. And she was like, hey, you guys, I have this song. And she like played it for us. We were like, yeah, let's work on that. Let's develop it and let's write it. And we wrote it. And she kind of did the demo that day after we wrote it. And I just assumed that it would be like a song for her, you know? But I had my team of people kind of pushing me to release a holiday single this year. And like, I was like, well, I looked at my different songs and I looked at that one and I played it and I thought, I really like this. Like, this sounds really good. And I changed the key because Rhonda and I sing in different keys. And I decided to cut it. And my producer at the time, Bill McDermott, the guy at Omni Sound, just did a fabulous job. It's pretty simple, the production, but it's like really fun. And I was able to kind of explore more of my R&B in a way, like tones, and just really had fun with it. It was very natural. It's very like fun and natural for me to sing. And I made a fun little video with it. And it was neat. And also my husband and I both caught COVID in the middle of, I was right about to go and cut the vocal. So I almost like died. I thought, well, I mean, not literally, but you know, I thought there's no way it's going to be a month before I get my voice back. But actually it was okay. It worked out, you know, so I was able to cut it after we got over the COVID and everything worked out good. So.
Oh my goodness. Judy, had you not said that, I would have never known, because when that song came up for me when I was listening to all your music, I'm so glad Brandon brought that song up, because it really does showcase your vocals in such a beautiful way. I was very, very impressed. And the song in general is very well written. It's a great Christmas song. So make sure you're adding that to all of your playlists. And you can even just listen to it now, even though we're going into summertime. It was just a beautiful song.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, my playlist has become everything now in the car. That's the Apple Music or playlist or whatever. Plug the USB into the thing, and
right.
Yeah, these Subarus that I get to drive to these shows, it'll just play everything just in a shuffle, and I put a lot of stuff on there from Judy Paster, and I know you will too out there. And I wanted to be remiss if I didn't ask about it, because I knew I brought it up before the second song. The Like Stardust, Back to It. There was one of my favorites on there, Wings of Gold. Break that one down for me.
Okay, yeah. That one I wrote back. That's like I won't want to say oldest, but I wrote it in 2000, I think 17. So it's kind of not super current. But I was influenced. I was actually, if you guys know who the Gaithers are, they're like Southern gospel people, legends. And anyway, I had met their kids and grandkids. Down in Franklin, Leapers Fork area. And I was listening to some of the music that they had written, which isn't like necessarily Southern gospel, but I was just listening to it. And I was at ASCAP writing by myself, which I used to do a lot. I used to go grab a writer's room there and just fiddle around on the piano, because I'm not really a piano or keyboard player, but I used to like to write on it there. And I just came up with that idea, the melody, and then Bill DeLuigi, my friend, and I got together and wrote the song. And that's definitely like a dreamer, you know, I dream dreams and hold on. But getting where I'm going is taking so long, you know, and I don't know, it's just like I guess it was supposed to be like sort of being able to go take a different perspective if you need to, in order to have wings of gold, you know, like dream your dreams and keep going and not give up. I think that's what it meant to me. I don't know what it means to you when you heard it. Is that what you thought?
Yeah, I kind of felt the same a little bit too. And I think the feeling in a lot of your songs inspire me, because this platform I started just a couple of years ago. And Kirsty and I got to meet early on, about 2019. So she has taken this ride with me. She's seen this thing grow in a way that I never thought it would. Your music really sits well with me because, like the title track of that latest single, Dreams Are Made to Believe, or Wings of Gold, it's going to give you those strong, very passionate messages of music. So and to see what this has become now, and some of the people that have come on this platform, I really kind of resonated with your music because you stay in your lane, you do what you're good at, and you don't try to venture outside of it, but you bring on people like Kirsty and the team here, people that are good at what they do, and you just kind of let it all just flow. And I think that's why I connected with your music so much. And Wings of Gold felt that way too.
That's nice. Thank you. And I'll give you guys a fun fact about Wings of Gold, and that is that it's actually in Dolly Parton's what they call pitch pile. So yeah, her person, point person, guitar player, and lots of other things. Wonderful person. He liked it so well, loved it, that he put it in her pitch pile. So it's basically probably sitting there with, I don't know, how many songs do you guys think Dolly Parton has waiting to be heard in her pitch pile? Probably like 1,000, but it's there. And that was like a huge compliment to me. Like, I mean, I was like, yeah, that's great.
It's cool to have that in the pitch pile. Well, Kirsty, I'm going to do one more, and we'll come back and do the rapid fire, which is a series of the little questions that we throw out there to get to know our guest a lot better, which is good. You'll pass the test, no SAT questions, nothing like that. Super easy, I should say. Easy. I work with a guy named Izzy, so that's why I'm saying his name. Super easy. We'll come back and do that. But third song, let's play another one.
Okay, so this one, I'm going to do this for Sean Spicer because he requested it about an hour ago. I was going to do a different one, but it's all good. Hey, Sean, if you're still here, I'm going to play Circles Around My Heart, which was the single off Like Stardust. And this is Circles Around My Heart.
Here we go.
Bring me roses, sweet, sweet wine. You write me poems, they don't rhyme. Kiss a stranger behind your eyes. Bring me everything but your time. Sunlight claims the day, and the moon lights up the night. Fingers trace my lips, draw circles round my heart, circles around my heart. Never leave me when you go away. In my bed, dreams always stay. You're a wild bird that can't be caged. You come back and I lose count. Sunlight claims the day, and the moon lights up the night. Fingers trace my lips, draw circles round my heart, circles round my heart, circles round my heart. Dreams come tumbling down, diamonds that get crushed. You blow into town, stir up diamond dust. rain and the moonlight's above dawn. Fingers trace my lips, draw circles round my heart, circles around my heart, circles around my heart, circles around my
If you're looking for one of the most beautiful and playable custom acoustics on the planet, look no further than Ed Rice at Toir Guitars. Ed is a true artist, transforming exotic woods into magnificent, sweet-sounding instruments. Go to toirguitars.us, that's TOIRGUITARS.us, and contact Ed today.
And we're back here on the show with Nashville recording artist Judy Paster, Circles Around My Heart, which led off the album Like Stardust, and beautiful rendition. I can't wait to get there up to that great town and come out to one of those shows at the Listening Room. I know I'll be very much more pleased to be there in person with you to see you perform live there too and get a chance to. Yeah, I'd love to have you too, and we'll do a little something live with you and have us a little drink. You know, I'm sure I can find Brandon somewhere. I'll call Bang up and be like, bring some of that Bangtail down here to the Listening Room, and if you don't have it in the bars and the taverns. I can tell you this: it's the best thing for a sore throat. To hell with cough drops. That whiskey is the best thing for the sore throat. I actually had some before the show we went to this past weekend at Whitewater down in New Braunfels, and then I get there and they're like, "Hey, do you want more?" And I get to the VIP thing, Judy, and I'm going. I take my wallet out. And I told Kirsty this. I'm like, I'm going to pay for my other glass, what I had. He goes, "Sir, you're in the hospitality area. You don't pay for liquor. This is on the house." I went, "Okay, so this is what this feels like." But I'm going to bring you some when we get to Nashville. Kirsty, I'll let you lead off rapid fire because I'm in a good mood today. It's been a good day. Really.
All right, awesome. I think I'm going to start off with the music question first.
All right.
What was the first song you ever sang on a stage?
Oh my gosh. I know. The first song I ever sang was a song called Wild World.
Wild World. Cool.
Okay.
Sometimes it always throws people off.
Wild World. That was the first song. It's I mean, we're talking like I was like a little girl, like 7 probably years old.
That's
wow.
Awesome.
Interesting. And being on stage that young, I think I was out hitting baseballs at 7 or playing the T-ball stuff or getting past T-ball.
I was in the school
Brandon, I did T-ball.
I'm going to be guys over here for a bit because it's.
I'm going to put my daughter in that too because, like I said, she'll be. Girls can play it
Let's
just
see
like
if this is any better.
She's finding that spot again.
Yeah, she's going to get the good spot.
All right, I got this one for you, Judy. Favorite pizza? What goes on it?
Favorite pizza?
Favorite pizza. What toppings are you putting on it? She's freezing again. Man. Okay. Can you hear us? There she goes. There she goes.
I see, Chris.
Still freezing a little bit there. You probably can hear us out there. If she says pepperoni, I'm going to be happy.
I don't like pepperoni. Most of the time, it's too spicy.
Too spicy for you?
Too spicy.
I guess, can she hear us there? We're still trying to find that spot there. Well, I'll make sure I get your pizza in
I don't see Brandon. Can you hear me, Kirsty?
I can hear you.
Yes.
We can. Oh, there goes her signal. So, well, I will say this. She'll come back. It's been a great show with her today. Check her out. You knew about her before. I mean, to get that call from her was really cool that Sean Spicer got got Judy in touch with me, and one day the phone rings, and I'm like, Nashville, who could this be? And on the other end was Judy Paster. So that was cool to reach out to her. And Judy, I guess if we can, there she is, reconnect. Boom, we're back. Oh, it's like magic.
That's a good picture. I think this one's gonna work. That's a good one.
Okay, cool.
It's a good.
Yeah.
Go for it. Pizza.
Okay.
Favorite pizza. What goes on it?
Okay, the pizza question. If we haven't already lost everybody that was on there, I'm so sorry. I'm walking around. I don't know. My favorite pizza. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not a big pizza fan, but I know, which is weird because everybody else is. But I just cheese pizza when I eat pizza.
Okay. You got one more, Kirsty?
Yes. If you would have to describe yourself in an animal form, maybe even say spirit animal, what would that be?
I don't know, maybe a hummingbird.
Oh,
Okay.
I like it.
I can see that. I can see that too.
Very
which is a good
graceful.
thing. Yeah.
And articulate, smart,
Sweet. But sweet things, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That was just the picture. I just saw that beautiful little, flitter.
I like that though. The sweet tones coming out and the singing and the notes and all that good stuff too. And look, love the music. So glad you reached out to us here on the show, and definitely you've got a parking spot here on the show. When you want to come back, you just pull right in, and we just put you back on the air for any new projects. The Ride comes out Friday, which is across all the digital platforms.
True Love Has a Cost comes out Friday.
Right.
True Love's have a cost. Okay, then the Ride. Okay.
The Ride will come out in June, and I don't have a date yet. So that's down the road. Yeah.
True Love Has a Cost Friday. Stand corrected in June. The Ride. So definitely.
Lots of new music. So.
Yeah, and definitely when I get to Nashville, Kirsty and I right down to the listening room, and I guess we can call Jeff. Jeff, come on down. And so we'll put it all together. Share a drink, maybe some Bangtail. Lori says, can't wait to try the whiskey. We'll definitely meet up and do that too. And Judy, thanks so much for reaching out to us here on the show, the Backstage Pass, and definitely come back anytime. Hope you enjoyed the experience.
I did. I'm honored that you guys had me on. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sean Spicer, for recommending this. And God bless. Yeah.
Awesome guy. I love Sean. He can shred a guitar like most, unlike some guys out there. He can play. It was good stuff with that. Coming up tomorrow, we'll take a trip back to something that I need to listen more to, but loved her music. 80s pop star Tiffany's coming here on the Backstage Pass. A lot to catch up with her, and I guess we're not going to be alone. I think we're alone now. No, we won't be alone on the show tomorrow. Looking forward to that one too. Like I said, Kirsty, Jeff will be with me on that show. And then Jesse Ritter coming on tomorrow, some cool stuff. And definitely next week, Tuesday, for Star Wars Day, the great Neil McCoy is going to stop by here on the Backstage Pass so we can talk about, I guess, Kirsty, can we do the shake if he's going to, I don't know, like he said he's going to play from his truck. So we'll see if he can do whatever he wants to play. That's Neil McCoy. I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to him. May the 4th. Stoney LaRue is coming back May 19th, looking at Texas country. And, of course, I want to say thanks to Irma's Double E Grocery. Got another great show booked out there Saturday night. Texas country artist Season Ammon, 6:30 to 9:30 if you're in the Sealy area out there for Irma's Double E Grocery, one of our sponsors out there too as well. And a whole summer concert series coming up. We're going to be out there May 30th all the way through October. So a cool thing. And you get you a Backstage Pass T-shirt. Go follow Judy. Go get the song Friday. And definitely keep following all the great artists here on the Backstage Pass. Thanks to Toir Guitars, Bangtail Whiskey, Irma's Double E Grocery, and JK Subaru. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow with Tiffany on the Backstage Pass. Look forward to that one.